Today we have Nik Sharplin. He's a director at Interlloy. They're a steel distribution business with about 70 seats in our cloud Go Desktop solution. Their offices are located in 7 different locations around Australia. Welcome, Nik.
Thank you, Fran.
Nik, today we want to talk to you about Enspire's Go Desktop solution and some of the reasons that you first thought about going into the cloud for your business.
The main reason we went into the cloud was because we wanted to outsource our IT solution. We're steel stockists. We don't have anybody with the training and the expertise to look after IT in-house, and because of a national footprint, that would then entail someone in every branch looking after the IT. So by going into the cloud, it's a user pays basis, everything's stored in the one central location, and it's a far better solution for us.
And Enspire wasn't your first cloud provider. Can you tell us a little bit about your search for a new provider and what was important for you?
The search wasn't easy because we were using Citrix, and I ended up having to Google Citrix to find a different partner, because we're talking about a few years ago now, and cloud computing was still pretty much in its infancy. The main reason that we chose Enspire is service. We rely on service. Our computers have got to be working, like any other business. If your computers aren't working, your staff are just sitting around twiddling their thumbs.
And if you had to name 3 must-haves when you were considering hosting in the cloud, what do you think they would be, obviously other than service?
Other than service, definitely good links, backup support, the longer the better, because we operate outside of the normal standard business hours, so the backup support. And just a business partner that we can work with into the future, because as new and emerging technologies come into being, we need a partner that can bring those to the table, introduce us to those, because we're at the bottom of the food chain. So we expect those to be brought to us and say, can you use this in your business?
So Nik, can you please talk to us about the process of implementation and the go live for your business?
The implementation was quite a long process, in as much as a lot of time and effort was put into making sure that Enspire understood the software we were running, and to make sure that all the user profiles were created correctly. So there was a lot of documentation, spreadsheets and so forth filled out to make sure that will all happen. From the go live, which happened to be in over the Christmas New Year period, to the time we were up 100%, I'd say would have been no more than a week. When we switched over, there were a couple of little gremlins, but they were incredibly minor, and everything was up, as I said, running within a week, 100%.
Can you please tell us about some of the business benefits that you've found with taking your business into cloud computing?
The business benefits, certainly the cost is one of the main things, and the backups. Basically, we're outsourcing our IT. If we weren't using cloud computing, we'd have to employ an IT expert, and the problem being based in 7 locations around the country, where's that IT expert going to be based? And wherever he's going to be, if he's in Dandenong, they're going to have a problem in Sydney or Brisbane. He's always going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's far better to have a central solution.
And you mentioned the backups. What is it about the backups that you think's a benefit?
They're off-site. I know they're done. They're done on a regular basis. We've had a couple of instances where we've had to use them. Not that anything's ever gone wrong. There's a couple of times I've wanted to check data, and it's been perfect, fantastic. And you've got the security of having it off-site.
So Nik, just thinking about some of the other benefits of having the Go Desktop hosted solution, tell me about your sales team. How do they work with the system?
That's an interesting question. We, shortly after starting with Enspire, we had our reps using laptops. We started using the dummy portable thin clients, and they've been fantastic. There's less moving parts, they're slightly cheaper than a laptop, and the beauty of them also is, heaven forbid any of them ever get stolen, there's no data on them. They've all got to log onto the system to get that data, so they're perfectly safe, and it gives our reps portability. They can use them wherever they are. I've got reps in far north Queensland, and yeah, they can log onto the system, access information. It's great.
So just thinking about your experience today, can you tell us how dealing with Enspire and their staff, what's that like for you on a day-to-day basis?
It gives me total confidence. As a director and an owner of the business, I can relax. I'm not going to get a horrible phone call at some ungodly hour that something's gone wrong. We have procedures in place. The staff know who to contact. Just at the other end of the phone, or that's if the email and so forth is out, if the computers are still working, they can still contact the help desk. Everything's resolved incredibly quickly. It gives me peace of mind.
Great. And the last thing, if you were at a barbecue talking to someone about hosting in the cloud, would you recommend it to them, and how would you do that?
Oh, I'd have no hesitation in recommending that to people. I think in this day and age it's the only way to go. You've got to look at what your strengths are. We're not an IT company. Very few companies are an IT company. They rely on the IT, but give it to somebody that understands it and does it. You're not going to clean the buildings yourself. You've got contractors in for that. There's a variety of services a business uses, and IT in this day and age is the lifeblood. It's got to be run properly, and it's got to be run securely and safely by people who know what they're doing.